Let's get to the chase. If you're an ambitious creator, you probably don't want to be like most people who will spend their entire careers throwing content out into the endless void, the black hole that is YouTube, that is the algorithm, getting, oh boy, 43 views and 1 cent from ad revenue. But after getting over 20 million long form views, generating multiple 6 figures off the back end of my content, I have realized that the reason why 99% of YouTubers stay poor, stay broke, stay struggling is because they are playing the wrong game. So in this video, I will explain exactly why and reveal the 3 mistakes that if you fix these, you will no longer be in that camp. In fact, you won't even be a slave to view counts anymore because you can monetize beyond that. You won't be a slave to the algorithm, you won't be a slave to sponsors, and you could unlock true creator freedom. So a couple years ago, I was in my apartment lobby hanging out with my friend, and he was telling me how despite grinding his way up and making around $10,000 a month as an online coach, he hit this ceiling. He wasn't really able to break through it no matter how hard he worked, which was a little surprising to me considering this guy gets hundreds of millions to billions of views combined across all platforms as a short form creator, and he used that to get his coaching clients. But basically we came to the conclusion that the current business model he was doing would not be able to scale. He was like, oh, maybe I could hire some new coaches, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. But I quickly realized the true reason why he couldn't grow, and the same reason most creators can't even get to 10K, let alone scale past it, is because they do not have leverage. See, let's say I had a lever and I needed to move all of these boxes upwards. So if I had just a regular little lever, I could go up and I could move 1 box up at a time, which, you know, it kind of gets the job done, but I have to do it 1 box at a time. It's going to take me a lot of time and a lot of effort just cranking that lever up and down. But imagine if instead I had a very, very long lever on my side. So it's like this. Suddenly, because my lever is now extremely long, don't look at me like that, you can actually move a lot of boxes at once, because the longer your lever is, the more leverage you have, which means it only takes a little bit of your input to get a lot of a given outcome. My friend was in this very trap. He had to make a new Instagram reel every single day and hope that it gets millions of views to get a client that may pay him a couple $100s a month. And this is the exact same for creators that don't even have a business, because you have to make a lot of content and get a lot of views to get, you know, a couple dollars per 1,000 with your ad revenue. And or it's the same with sponsorships. You have to get a lot of views to get the right CPMs and negotiations with the sponsorships to make money. It is still a low leverage model. Whereas when you have the correct model, you have a system in place that allows you to just make a video that you want to make here and there, and you get crazy exorbitant amounts of results because of that effort. All because you chose the right business model. You chose the right place to place the fulcrum for your lever. And when you're a creator with low leverage, you are basically the equivalent of a jester from medieval times. You just dance around, try to entertain people so you don't get your head chopped off and you can make a living. And you're just a jester, you know, dancing for these YouTube kings, these algorithm gods, these audience gods. But the moment you gain leverage for yourself, you now become the king of your own kingdom. So how do you actually gain this leverage? How do you actually build the kingdom so you can make money that isn't dependent on a viewership or your channel blowing up or going viral or anything like that? Because at the end of the day, I don't know about you, I don't want to have to be like that. I don't want to be the next Mr. Beast. I just want to make money making content that I love, talking about the things I want to talk about. Well, in order for you to have a kingdom, you need to then have a nice big moat around your kingdom. So when you're making YouTube videos, you are essentially renting attention. You are borrowing attention that is floating around in this ecosystem that is YouTube. But when you have a moat, it turns that rented attention into a true business, a true kingdom, this engine that can generate an income for you, and you're not susceptible to a magical algorithm change. You're not susceptible to having to go viral. You're not stuck in that low leverage trap I explained earlier. earlier. And a moat is an advantage that your channel and business has that is 1, hard to copy, gets stronger with scale, meaning the more views you get, the more your channel grows, the stronger your moat actually gets, and 3, isolates you from the competition in your niche, in your industry that you make content about. Just like back in the day, the moat would separate your kingdom from the outside competitors, the outside kingdoms trying to come over and mess you up with their big old swords and stuff. There's a lot of things that can help to build the moat. The one thing, the biggest thing that I talk about always with this channel is your personal brand, or peanut butter. Because when you actually know how to properly build your personal brand and you know these psychological tactics to use in your content that makes people like you more, trust you more, get emotionally engaged with you, emotionally triggered by you, and puts them into the pipeline of your business, that alone is enough to separate you from your competitors. Because once they like you, once they choose you, they're not gonna go buy from competitors. They're not gonna go watch competitors. It's kind of like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan owns the supplement brand that is a nootropic focus supplement. The truth is, you can go get all those ingredients on Amazon for way cheaper. But people are still going to go and buy Joe Rogan's brain supplement brand because it's Joe Rogan, because it's his personal brand. Rogan has a moat around his supplement business. Another one would be audience ownership. This is basically when you're able to get your audience off of just being a viewer or a commenter on your videos and into something like an email list where no matter what happens to your channel, you still own that audience that you've built on your email side of things. Another one could just straight up be the quality of your video, not just the editing of it or if you have a nice camera, but how high quality is the information, is the value, is the stories that you are giving to your audience. Or even just straight up distribution. Are you better than other creators in your niche at distributing your content? For example, simply adding at the end of your videos a call to action to another video that helps solve a related problem or is similar to the topic of the video they just watched builds a moat, because now they're much less likely to watch your video fully to the end and then go find another creator. No, they're gonna watch your next video that you just recommended them, which simply due to exposure bias builds your personal brand even more. But none of that will actually matter if you do not have a clear way of getting people into your content and then into your business, aka into your kingdom, and turning that into dollars. Which is the final mistake that keeps creators poor, and that is not having a pipeline. Without a pipeline, you are literally incapable of extracting the value from the audience that you have garnered. It's kind of like opening a movie theater without a concession stand. Sure, you're gonna sell some movie tickets, but you're throwing away 80% of the profits. So I'll literally just use my other YouTube channel as an example. The pipeline I had set up there was, let's say someone comes across one of my self-improvement videos and it's about how to be more focused. But at the end of the video, I say knowing how to focus doesn't actually matter unless you also know how to be disciplined. So click the video on the screen where I'll teach you how to be disciplined. So then they go to another YouTube video about how to be disciplined. And in that video, I talk about how one of the reasons why you can't be disciplined is because of the effect that cheap dopamine has on you. And I mention that I have a free dopamine guide, dopamine course that they can get in the description. So they go and get my little freebie, my dopamine guide. And not only do they get that video, it's like a 30-minute video, literally a module from my course that I gave them for free, but they also then get sent an email sequence. So over the course of the next couple of days, they're getting more value in their email inbox. Notice how everything I've said so far is actually value. I'm not just giving them crappy resources. I'm not just instantly trying to sell them on something they don't understand. But through this email sequence, one of the things they learn is that it's not just about dopamine. It's actually about if they truly want to get the discipline, the confidence, the emotional control that they desire, they need to do an actual subconscious reprogramming, which sends them to my paid offer, Mental Mastery. And boom, the pipeline that I had built has turned what would have just been one single view. They might have never watched another video again. The algorithm may have never recommended them another video of mine again. It turned that single view into a paying customer, and they spent $395 on my Mental Mastery program. But you might be thinking, okay, I understand. I need to be the king of the castle. I need to build a moat that separates me from the other content, and I need to have a pipeline that takes them throughout my content to some kind of paid offer, some kind of monetization. But what is that? Well, you can't just jump to, I guess I'm going to make a course. I guess I'm going to do coaching. I guess I'm just going to whatever. You need to have a specific plan and have a handful of ingredients to ensure that the thing you are going to sell is actually going to convert and make your audience like you more and not see you as some kind of weird scammer grifter guy. So if you want to learn my 3P framework to go from 0 to 10K a month as a creator, so you can actually do this, click the video on the left right now. Or if you want to know exactly how to make a specific kind of digital product, the same digital product that I have used and everything that goes into it, a full 28-minute course on how to do so, you can click the video on the right. That's it. Thank you for watching. They're on the screen right now. Pick one, click it. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye-bye.